Hey, what's up everyone, Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be going over how to fix landing on your heels, and we're going to start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab.
Reach your individual goals. You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video. Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become.
All right, so real quickly, I want to go into why landing on your heels is going to end up slowing you down, and this is going to really be a big focus on, more sprinting, but it's going to be really both types of, either long distance running or sprinting. But today we're going to go a little bit more into just like the sprinting side of it. But what ends up happening is when you're running and you land on the heels, you're way out. One of the things is you're way out in front of yourself, right? So when you want to be able to talk about having to cycle your legs quickly, what's an important thing that you have to recognize or understand is that in order to be able to cycle that leg as fast as you can, when our foot hits the ground, there ends up being this time where you have to be able to control the ankle and then be able to then push right back off within the foot, right? And the concept is we have to be able to minimize that the best we can, right? So the least amount of time that we're spending on the ground and still being able to maximize the force production is critical. So when we land and we hit our heel first, what happens is that now we have this contact, then we have that contact, then we have stabilization, then we have push off, right? So it just takes a lot more time to do that in comparison, and even when you're doing that, it ends up being this time period where you have to, hit, and this is like a deceleration force, right? Because we're going and we're hitting the ground like this, and now we're slowing ourselves down. Then we have to transition, and then we have to re-push ourselves back off. In comparison to if we're landing on the balls of our feet, and really if we're able to cycle that leg and land with that foot right up underneath us, now we're already generating force backwards, so that when our foot hits the ground, we just need to really be able to stabilize that landing position and then be able to push right back off. So it just ends up being a lot more efficient, a lot more effective, and really makes it so you can continue to move fast rather than have to slow down and speed up, slow down and speed up, which is what you're doing when you're landing on the heel and then having to accelerate from there. So one of the best things that I think you could do in order to fix this and really be able to understand mechanically what you want to be doing is, one, just working on your straight leg run. So I'm here, I'm just pumping my arms nicely, and I'm just landing on the balls of my feet. So as I'm doing that, I'm really trying to be able to understand how to get that action down, really using my lower core in order to, get that going. And then another big thing is just working on the leg cycle itself. Extend, pull, and when I'm pulling, I want to be landing on the balls of my feet. Now, I'll implement both of those, so I'm here, and then I'm just cycling my legs, right? So you can see there, I'm just going to do only my left leg. I'll come back doing my right leg, okay? And as I'm doing that, I'm really putting a focus on making sure I'm landing with the balls of my feet, make sure I'm pulling my foot back underneath me. Now I'm going to do both legs, so I'm just going to be cycling through. And it's really about creating that rhythm where you start to get an understanding of exactly how to be able to cycle that leg up, get that knee up to the hip, extend out in front, and then pull back underneath in a way that's going to make it so now when your foot hits, you can go and immediately strike right back off the ground. Because the big thing is, the more effectively you can go and kind of land more on the front part of the foot, the more your heel is almost kind of upwards will make it so then you can accelerate off just that much faster. And that's what I see with people that end up landing with their heels is, you're going to end up just spending a lot more time on the ground, and you're slowing yourself down, right? Because now you're hitting out here, way out in front of yourself. So now the natural inclination is to have to stop and then have to accelerate as I come up over the top, in comparison to coming through and then pushing right off. So if you find yourself landing on your heels, you really want to be able to put a big focus on correcting that. It's not something that ends up taking a super long period of time, but it is something that is very, very instrumental in being able to continue to develop your speed and continue to get faster. So as always, guys, if you like the information, go ahead and click that thumbs up down below, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, you can leave those down below. Check out some of the things we have in the description. We have the speed breakdowns, which I think if you're struggling with any of these types of mechanical issues, definitely check that out, because that's going to be one of the best things that will help you in being able to really visually see what it is that you need to do. And then, one of the reasons I'm making this video is because one of my, people that did a breakdown, they were having some issues and were like, hey, how can I fix landing on the heel? So I was like, hey, let's just make a video here. I think it's a great topic. I think it'd help out a lot of people. And it's the same thing for you. If you send in something and we want to be able to make an improvement, I probably already have a video on it or a drill or something. But if I don't, I'm going to make one and we'll make sure that you're able to understand exactly what it is that you need to be doing within your sprinting in order to continue to make gains, in order to continue to make strides. Because that's, to me, the biggest thing when it comes to throwing the ball further, jumping higher, running faster. You got to be specific on what are the areas that need to improve, and I need to be able to rapidly improve those areas. Not slow, consistent. No, it's got to be rapid, right? It's got to be fast. Not that it's not consistent, but it's got to be fast, right? I don't want it to be 3 months until you get better. I want it to be this week you are better in throwing further, in accelerating, in whatever the case may be, better utilizing your big toe when you're pushing off, whatever the case is, we got to be able to do it, and we got to be able to make those improvements quickly. So again, check out the description to find a little bit more about our programs and do some of our breakdowns. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.